The views and opinions expressed by our host and guests are of their own opinion and experience and are not representative of their occupations, houses of worship, or any other intellectual property. Athens Avenue is not liable for its audience's adaptation of said experience over the next hour.
What is Athens Ave? Athens Ave is a hangout where the body of Christ can come and wrestle with our witness in the world that is becoming increasingly intolerant to our presence, to our position, and most of all, the praise to our God. What is Athens Ave? It's where we give a biblical worldview on life and ministry and seek to courageously respond to it as it's happening. You never know who you might see on Athens Ave. On Athens Ave, you're going to hear gossip in the pew. You're going to hear a fight in this corner. And on Athens Ave, we'll provide wisdom from the men of Issachar. It's always going down on Athens Ave. Make sure you make it right on Athens Ave. When I step on the scene, I feel like I should always rhyme. After that is over, I always expected you to come in with some type of rhyme. You have not rapped yet this season. You haven't rapped yet. Okay, guys.
It's just a freestyle.
Well, let me sit back. Go ahead, Marshall.
Okay. Years ago, they tried to put me in the. This is a lie.
He has not said a lyric yet. I don't think yet.
Well,
No.
I think last week it was just a little discombobulated.
Okay. The fighting last week. I tell you.
I got some comments that they're gonna need me and my man to tone it down. So
Oh my goodness!
I need folks to know that I ain't got nothing but love for R-Dub. He wouldn't be on the show if it was anything else, But sometimes I think his opinions are just from alien culture. I don't know. But no, I ain't taking shots earlier.
I was going to say, now I'm going to have to excuse you because now you're trying to take shots and he's not even up here yet. That ain't right. That is not right. Oh, Lord. Well, welcome everyone to episode 3 of season number 5. I have the season right now. I'm so excited to be here. And so I'm just going to get started if you don't mind. I'm actually going to excuse you this go round. Is that okay?
Deuces.
Do I have permission?
Please.
I've got something to tell you. I've got some news in the pew.
Okay, guys. This video is not one that has been seen just yet from our pastors and our doctors and all the things. And I think it's important to talk about these things on the show, especially because our We Got Next crew is here and they are young adults. But I also have young children as well. And so I want to play this clip, and I have a myriad of things to say about it, but I kind of want to hear what the fellas have to say. Okay.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Let's talk about it. Do I have to bring everyone?
Yeah.
Hi, PK. Hi, R-Dub. How are you? So this is a phenomenon that is not new. I see clips like this all the time. Literally, I see clips like this all the time with young girls thinking that they can fight their mates. And I'm not even going to talk about the commentary and what the comments said, but I want to know what your guys' advice would be, or how you feel about this young generation feeling like the homie can get it too. And I just wanted to talk about it. So who wants to go first?
Well, first let me say thanks for explaining. Because
yes,
my generation, when they say the homie can get it too,
it's something different. Yeah. I did know that. I do know that.
So, I actually, thought it was a intimate thing, like, but your homie you get it too mean that she's willing to fight a dude. That's what we talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
In a relationship, that fighting piece, him hitting her, she hitting him, there's no reason for that. And to encourage that is a dangerous thing too. I am floored because I watched the Judge Judy show, and a young lady was suing a guy for hitting her, and Judge Judy said, "Well, you hit him first." Oh, and he knocked her out, and she wanted him to pay for her medical bill. So it's a new day. It's a new day.
So wait. Before you say something, Dr. LA, because I want to follow up on that. So are you saying that if you fight a man and you get smacked or knocked down from the man, that is what the new day is?
According to Judge Judy, I said there's no room for the fighting in the relationship, period.
Gotcha.
And I think, somebody got to demonstrate some self-control. Walk away, like the gentleman did in the clip. He was walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when she sees that he's walking away, she should leave it alone and walk the opposite way.
Hurt.
PK, you got something?
What we're seeing is, and one of the things there's a couple of things. The music is a fad now. It's a TikTok thing, where you almost always hear that song or that music, that jingle behind something tragic going on, almost as to create a dichotomy. The trauma. This is traumatic. Watching that is not cool. It's not funny. It's not cute. The statement, the homie can get it, is disgusting. There's no softness. There's no. It's just sad, and it's prevalent. You see it a lot. If you're on social media, you'll see both genders fighting each other as if it's common or should be common. It goes back to, man, I can't blame it all on this generation. We talk about this generation as if they just popped out of nowhere, but somebody deserves the blame. Some of this blame. It ain't just all on them. How did they learn how to be a man, a woman? I can guess that these two are not married. These two are not in a committed relationship. They don't know how to do relationship well. So it's indicative of where we're at as a society. And I think seeing this on TikTok with that music almost desensitizes us and causes us to be numb to a woman fighting a man.
As a girl dad, I don't want no male putting their hands on my daughter, which means I don't want my daughter putting her hands on no male, because if a male put hands on my daughter, I might have to put hands on him.
Correct.
And a lot of the drama that we see is this retaliation of a female calling her cousins, her daddy, or anybody else and saying, this person hit me, and if the female is talking about the homie could get some, so you're going to punch him all in his mouth and all this, then you end up with a black eye. Now, every cousin and dad and brother, everybody you got now going to put their life on the line because they're going to go out and try to get him. He going to get a weapon because he can't beat them. And you talking about violence on violence on violence on violence. And then as a boy dad, because I got two young men, I also have told them, you don't put your hands on a woman. You don't. I don't even want you putting your hands on another dude. Like, that's not how we handle things. And I've never demonstrated that. They've never seen me yell, cuss, or touch their mama. You know what I mean? And of course, we've been together 30 years, so we've had to negotiate some situations and we had some conflict, but never one that led to arguing, or cussing, or putting hands on one another. So I think it comes from demonstration, but it also comes from teaching, because we have a lot of young men and young women growing up in broken homes. When you have broken homes, you have a broken educational system. of how to demonstrate what love look like and what does even conflict look like, when it comes
resolution.
to
So if I smacked you and you smacked me back, if I haul off and slapped you,
I don't know which one of us you're talking to.
what?
Talking to you.
It doesn't matter. I'm talking to you now because you were the last one talking. But any of you here, because I hear what you guys are saying, but I also understand that I'm with a man. So if I slap Juan in his face, as good as he was raised, as controlled as he is, and he has never laid his hand on me. So let's be clear. But if I haul, and I've never laid my hand on him, but if I haul off and slap him, I understand that now if he haul off and slaps me back, I feel that when women do that, they should understand what comes after that.
Reciprocity.
Well, all of us are married. That's one. And so I said, if you slap who, but I mean,
well, then I would have to fight your wife. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying, but if my wife slapped me, I would automatically assume it was something truly wrong with her. But I would not slap her back.
Right.
It's time to go. It's time to leave.
I would.
It's time to go. I love that.
I would step away. I would block, make sure she wasn't, just swinging on me, or grab her hands if it was more than one slap coming. But no, my natural reaction still would not be to hit her.
She's good men. You guys are good men.
Just turn around nah. That wouldn't be a natural reaction for me to slap her.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I just wanted to hear. Yeah, Juan's not going to slap me back either, but I don't care. I'm not even going to test him that way. Right. That's crazy. So I just wanted to talk about that. You know, we have domestic violence. It's a thing, and PK is right. They do a lot of those videos with that sound. Wow. Like it's funny. It's not funny, and it's not just our generation, because to your point, where are they learning how to man? Where are they learning how to be women, feminine, all of those things? But it's something that I wanted to hear what you guys had to say. So yay, I'm glad that I can start season 5 off lightly, guys. This is great. Maybe this is something that we need to talk more about. And you will have information in the commercial that if you are a victim or you know someone that is a victim of domestic violence, please reach out to that number or to that website so that you can help yourself or help someone else. We will be back after this commercial break. Peace.
Thank you for visiting Great Commission Church. We are a church that loves God and loves people. We are informal because we consider one another family. And family cares about one another, and it's our desire to help build up the men, the women, and the children that God sends us. We also value community, and therefore we dedicate ourselves and our service to helping those in need. We invite you to come as you are and begin a new journey of growth and spiritual maturity, of discovering your purpose and walking in your calling. I'm Pastor Anderson, and I look forward to meeting you in person.
All right, and we're back. Thank you, Dr. LA, for, I know that In the Pew gets a little serious sometimes, but thank you guys for talking about that. I think that was cool. But I'm really excited. This is my favorite segment of Athens Avenue. It's
In This Corner.
Hi, Pastor R-Dub.
Hello.
AKA Onk, AKA Pastor Ricky. I don't know what you're gonna be called, today, but
today I'm Pastor R-Dub.
You're Pastor R-Dub today. Okay, to eat and get you guys together. I actually like your question today. When leaders and long-standing members leave the church, should the pastor and church, I guess, church members, say something publicly about it? That's what the key is today, publicly. So I need someone that is for and someone that is against. Okay. All right. I'm going to remove myself.
You want to go first, or you want
to go? Okay, I'll go. I think just want to preface this. There has to be some spiritual maturity on this process, because it can go left from both ends. I think if a leader, longstanding member, should leave the church, I think first and foremost, they need to have a conversation with that pastor and have a conversation to kind of say, hey, this was going on in my life. I'm moving on, and therefore, hey, our family's moving on, and the pastor, he has to remember that they're God's people, not his. It should be, particularly for a leader and a long-standing members, it would be good to acknowledge that, appreciate the service, and that the Lord has called them somewhere else.
Okay. Well, I think you've been pastoring long enough. So you know how many people leave without saying a word to you. So I ain't gonna let you just get off with the naivete. Like, everybody comes and has this conversation. Like, come on. You know what I mean?
No, they don't.
90% of the folks who leave don't say a word to you. They just disappear. Let's be real. They just disappear. So you can't say nothing about them because you don't know they're going until it's been,
it's been a year or so.
Some months. You're like, oh, I guess they gone. They tell you they leave and they just leave.
Right.
Those who do tell you that they leaving, sometimes they don't leave well, as we know. Sometimes they don't leave for legitimate reasons or to go to legitimate places. I think there is, when you have, and I've done it both ways. You've been, a faithful member, servant, deaconess, whatever the case may be. You get married, you move on, or you're called to a higher position, or you relocate or whatever, and God bless you. You know what I mean? We will honor you, we will thank you, we will publicly recognize that. You leave on some womp womp,
womp womp.
What? Like, it's like, nah. Or if you leave because you've been in conflict, or you leave because you done did something, I think the way you leave is important. And if you don't leave well, and you're not leaving because you've gotten, married or you relocated, if you leave and just go to so-and-so's church, what is the announcement to make? If somebody want to know where you're at, they call you, you tell them. But if you leave well, and I think it's legitimate, then I'm going to acknowledge it and I'm going to thank you and honor you for what you did. But I could count on one hand the amount of people who left well because of relocation or something to that, because they got married, as opposed to somebody who left for some petty or immature reason or just disappeared or whatever. So, a lot of people leave, and most of the people, I would say 90% of the people who have left, I have not said a word about. I let them find out, because I'm not one who's going to throw you under the bus. I'm not going to tell nobody your business or what you did or why you did. I'm just going to let them realize, that you're no longer there. That's my norm.
And I can understand that, because I'm on that same degree. Like, for example, if a person, if let's just say a member comes up, hey, have you seen so-and-so? I said, no, how about you? And they'll say, no, I just wondered, you going to call them? I said, no. And then they asked me the question, why won't you call them? I said, well, we haven't moved. We're still here. And then I would also say, if they don't go to work, do you think the job calls them, or does the job make it their responsibility to call the job? I said, why give your employer more respect than you give the servant of your God? So, and so that's where I am, because, you have people that leave for various reasons, go to church across the street. And I don't believe that you should have a big celebration for that. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, no, I get it. And I'm guilty. I will call. I will text. I will ask. I will question the deacon or the small group. Like, hey, what's going on? Have you seen them? Blah, blah, blah. But again, after a certain period of time, I'm not going to harass you.
Right.
I'm not going to chase you down and come knock on your door. You decided to leave. And, again, they are, as you started in the very beginning, they God's people. So at the end of the day, they choose to go somewhere else. God bless them, but I don't need to make a bigger deal about it where we are.
That was great. You guys did very well. PK, did you want to add something?
I think it was said it depends on who they are and how they left, and whether or not they get some acknowledgement or some recognition. I think you've seen so many people leave the wrong way. Maybe it's the wrong way for the wrong reason. You see it so often that you don't get a chance to celebrate those who have left well. And I wish we would have. I think people were coming. A lot of folks come to church because they're still consumers, and they leave church because they want something else. They want a different department store experience, as it were, and they go. And I don't think you celebrate that. I think that's a
nice way of putting it. I like that.
Yeah, that's a consumer mindset. And hey, peace. Just let's not do the rah-rah. You're leaving and God bless you where you're going. We don't need to spend a ton of time discussing and fireworks and everything. Just bounce.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
This is my
smooth and diplomatic. He turned about people. He gave him too long.
Yeah. I saw some faces.
Hey, Canton, you're gonna have a segment on church hurts.
Yeah. Right? Oh no, you know how people the mood is deconstructing because church leadership hurt people. Mm-hmm. But I think the reality is that there's tons of pastors and leaders who have been hurt by this very thing. Right. And that is church hurt.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, there's been some experiences that I've had where I had to go to therapy to process through some of the hurt.
Mm-hmm. I love that you said that. 1 second. I love that you said that, though. I know we were joking about it going left, but I actually don't think that when people are peopling, they are not considering you guys. They're not considering us as leaders. Like, they're not doing that. They're doing what they want to do. So to actually hear you even say that, to say, hey, like, go, and we laugh. But on the other side is like, bro, when you left, that like hurt me. That was like that was personal. And so I'm glad to see that you guys are peeling off layers of the onion. I like to see. I like to hear that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Shoot,
it's outback out here.
I'm telling you, man.
Oh my gosh. And on that note, no, RW, I'm not even letting you say nothing. I'm removing you. I'm going to leave it, PK, and we're going to go right. We're going to go right because I felt like he was about to start. But we're going to go right to my other favorite segment, the
Men of Issachar.
How should someone choose the church that they become a member of? Oh, this I gotta hear.
That's the question. That's the age-old question.
That's the question. And I think it starts with how do people normally in the church that they become a member of. And we know from study
exactly
that people choose a church for many reasons, but they usually say the 4 P's.
The 4 P's.
One is place. People choose a church based on where it's located. Oh, the church is around the corner, so that's the church that we went to.
Neighborhood church.
Based on the location of the church, be a reason that somebody decide to go to the church. It don't matter what denomination it is. It don't matter what
it's convenient.
But it's the convenience of where it is. And so that place is one of those P's. And then it's personality.
Yep.
People choose a church because of the personality of the church. Now that personality can be the pastor. And they can like that person and be like, oh yeah, I go to Pastor Waller Church. I go to Pastor Reed. I go to, so whoever that personality is, they follow personality. And so they can go for that. Then it's what? People.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people.
there's people in the church that my sister go here, my cousin go here, my best friend go here, my husband go there, my parents go there.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is I'm there because of the people that's there, and then it's
Mhm.
programs, you
Oh,
know, and then it's like, hey, yeah, I like the Awana program, or I
yeah.
like the children's ministry,
They got
men's
great
ministry,
kids
women's
stuff.
ministry. They got something. I go there because I like the AVBS. Like so,
Yeah.
those are the 4 Ps. Those are the normal reasons that
Yeah.
people would choose a church that they end up becoming a member of. But why do you think someone should choose a church beyond those 4 Ps that they become a member of?
Why should they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, and I know I'm beating a dead. I think it's mission. I think after much, I wonder how much people actually pray and are willing to listen and are willing to consider what they can give. Like, does their gifting, the spiritual gift, determine where they land as a church? Seeing, man, is there a lane for my gift? Is there an opportunity to be used here? And after much prayer, that determines this is the spot for us. And that's a flip. That's a flip on the consumer. The 4 Ps is like, these are reasons. So it's more, it's like a mall. I go here to get stuff versus I go here to execute what God has called me to do. So it's like this calling, this gifting, this opportunity has all meshed together. And I know I'm supposed to be here. And I think when you have those things corresponding, you can't wait to get to church. You understand that church is much more than a Sunday morning experience. You understand that you're within a discipling relationship and you can't wait to do it. And so, those folks that at one time came twice a month for 4 things: program, people, personality, and place. Now they come every week, and every time the doors are open and are looking for opportunities because the mission, the gifting, and the opportunity has all come together at a specific time. And God has called you there. So that's, to me, member doesn't mean I'm waiting to be served. Member means I am serving. I am an extension, the arms of God, reaching out to people who do not know Christ personally. It's you're walking into that vision piece.
Well, I think that's excellent. I think it's twofold. I think the vision of the church or the mission of the individual. I think there's this idea, like, so I know for me, when the Lord called me, and I felt that calling, I was on mission. So I was trying to find a church that I could be equipped, I could be discipled, and I could be released and empowered to do what God has called me to do.
Absolutely.
And so I went on a search for that. Who can equip me? Where can I get an opportunity to be equipped? Where can I be discipled? Is there a place that I can be used? Are they going to pour into me and deploy me, right? Because I was on mission. But then there's this, I don't know exactly what I've been called to do, and I'm here. But if I don't know what my mission is, what God has called me to do, then I'm seeking to hear, what is the vision of this church, or what are y'all trying to do? Oh, this church is trying to reach their community. This church is involved in foreign mission. This church is willing to help turn citizens. This church is feeding the hungry. This church is serious about pregnant moms or young teen. Like so, it's what is the vision, and can I be a part of that vision? Am I buying into that vision? It's not, oh, I love their gospel choir. It's not, oh, they pastor so funny. It's not, oh, you don't have to get dressed up to come here. Oh, it's not, oh, they start early or they start late. Like, we have all of these superficial, frivolous preferences of why we choose, what we choose, and where we choose. And, we say our vision, of course, where we are every Sunday morning so people can know it, they can recite it. But the truth is, you got so many people that go to so many churches and they don't know the vision of the church or the mission that God even has them on. They just going somewhere because their mama went there or their grandmama went there. And there's so many other reasons that they go besides the reasons that they should go.
No, I think that's so true. I think there's a maturity when you move past, because some people do place personality programs. People like at a certain maturity level, that's what gets folks into the church. But if you've been walking this thing out for some time and you've been through some stuff, if those are still the determining factors, then that's a big problem. Like, I think that whole maturity piece is understand mission, gift, opportunity, and even, going someplace where you're going to be challenged, where you're going to be encouraged, where there's some growth that you can see can happen because there's some others who are beyond where you're at spiritually, who can pour into you and disciple you, so that you can take those next steps. But it's all together. You're not sent to it. You should not. I don't believe that you should be simply going to a church just to get some stuff on Sunday.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's treated like a play. It's almost treated like entertainment. Like, you know what? I go. I love the music. I love the message. I'm in and out within an hour. And I'm on my way. Yeah, so it's not really a part of your spiritual journey, right? Exactly. It ain't a part of your spiritual calling. You're just going to get a spiritual meal. I'm going almost like, I pay this offering, which is what I pay, and then it's, I'm from that point on, it's I'm entertained or I'm not. Yeah. And if that's why you're there, you always gonna find somebody who can entertain you better than where else. That goes back to people even in church hopping, because if you're there just as a consumer, you're always gonna find somebody who can deliver it better.
Package it better.
You're not committed to that vision and that mission, then you're there for the wrong reasons.
Absolutely. No, it's good.
I agree with the scholars have shared. I think go back to what Canty said about the praying piece, because I think there's a level of babes in Christ. I understand their struggle. But the mature ones that just moved into a community, you would expect them to understand, I'm going to church not to be served, but to serve. I'm going to give and not to take. And there's a difference, because you could be in the church and say, well, I've outgrown this church. Then the question would be, where are you serving? 9 times out of 10, people aren't serving. So then they do what Dr. L.A. said, and then it's time to do that holy shift, and they shift into another place to be entertained and so forth. So I think people have to understand, you come in to be developed, discipled, and deployed. You don't just come to be developed and discipled and then be entertained. It's time for you to serve in some capacity in the development of others in this faith.
I have a question. Can you repeat the 4 P's again? Just the name, the 4.
It's place, which is based on the location, personality, then there's people that you're there for, and then it's programs.
Heard. And you did not say pastor. And I was taking notes and I reread that. And I was like,
pastor would be
is pastor the personality? Okay.
He would be the personality. Or for some, he could be the people. Like, so if that's your cousin or that's your friend, or whatever, then I'm there. He could be the people or the personality.
I think you're right. I think that is right. That is right. That was good. No, I was trying to think of some churches I went to, and I was like, that's not right. That is right. That is right. Oh, that was good. Yeah, I have wounds. We're not going to talk about them. We're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Peace.
I've revealed some things and shared some things in us, and really some blind spots that we have when it comes to covering our wife in ministry. It's easy to say during your first ministry. It's a whole lot harder to actually do and function in that space. I don't think you can lead a healthy church if you don't have a healthy marriage and a healthy home. What you have is some heartfelt words and stories and transparency that I hope you can appreciate and benefit from and share with others. It starts with us being transparent, revealing where we are and where we come up short, and working on that together so that we can be a better blessing to the church.
What's good? What's good? I'm telling you, season 5 is popping. Have you liked, followed, and subscribed already? Shout out to Terrell Grice. I didn't make up subscribe, so he don't be coming after Athens Avenue's podcast, okay? But make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. This next segment that I'm bringing up, guys, you already know what it is. It's like my favorite segment. It's
We got next. Next.
We're back. So let me go ahead and bring up the stars, okay? Let me bring up the stars. None other than Allie B to the stage. What's good, Allie B? You should see your brother in the back. He clapping. Let me just bring him up. Let me bring him up. Come on, D. What's up, D?
Here we go. Here we go.
There we go. What's good? Ain't another successful week. How's your week been? Y'all been having a good week? Y'all been good?
Can't complain.
We are.
Okay, because I don't know if the young people's struggles are the same as the old people's struggle. Are they the same?
A struggle is a struggle.
Time, but we're struggling.
A struggle is a struggle.
The struggle is a struggle, and that I completely understand. So we're going to go ahead and get to this. I really love this topic, and I like it when you guys get deep, okay? And so this one was really dope. Does the concept of grace influence our understanding of justice and fairness?
This is a deep one. This is a deep one.
This is a very deep one. I think that in a way it can kind of influence our understanding of justice and fairness in the sense of it's not always fair, right? And when it's not fair, like that grace, like why me? I don't know. I guess when I think of like when it comes to his grace and like when it comes to that justice, the justice and the fairness of it all, like why me in a way, you know?
I think I used to ask that question a lot whenever I ran into a struggle or battle. But then I started kind of thinking like, why not me? Right. And I started kind of realizing why it is me. Right. Because I would have people around me, anytime I go through something, be like, yeah, you always got something, bro. Like it's always you. That would happen to you. And I'm like, yo, it really do happen to me, and all y'all be chilling. But it's like it just reminds me that like God's not done with me, right? Anytime something come up and it's like, well, that didn't kill me or that didn't whatever, it's like, all right, like my story's not finished, and it's like he gonna keep I'm gonna be strengthened through this, and he's only giving this to me because I can handle it, whereas somebody else might not be able to, right?
Yeah, you kind of I feel you on that because in the same breath, like why not me? Like I could be somebody who could be inspiring anybody, right? Like you never know whose life you may be touching just on the strength of you having the strength. And the strength only comes from the grace that I've been given. You know what I mean? Like I've been through things like I've lost my dad at 18. You know what I mean? Like with that, he's been through cancer and all of that. So going through the whole cancer and the sickness and all of that, like there's things that I know should have broke me, but that's what that grace is for. And because of the grace that he's given me, like it makes me want to keep going. Like, to me, it just makes me want to keep going because if you can at least see me through, who am I to stop? Like, that's
Yeah.
not fair, So I think it definitely does influence my idea of justice and fairness in the sense of like it's never going to be fair. That just is what it is. But the grace is always fair, and that's where the fairness and the justice comes from. The grace in and of itself.
Hmm.
Um,
And
yeah.
how do we show that? Right? Like I think that's the next part of this. Like, how do we show our grace that we're supposed to show, especially as Christians, in these rough times of dealing with certain situations with other people, that we come across, right?
For sure, for sure. And I feel like showing that grace is so not shown that people are really taken aback when you provide that grace to them, right? When you give them that benefit of the doubt, when you give them that, okay, just kind of move it on, like it not hindering or holding a grudge against somebody. Like that grace is so necessary and it's so needed and it's so longed for that when people get it, it scares them. So I think for us, like to continue to show that grace, like that's how we continuously show God's grace. Is we have to be that light and that example for this world, because it's needed and nobody gets it, nobody gives it. So I think as long as we continue to show up as that example of grace, you know what I mean? Like somebody is going to affect somebody. It might not affect everybody, but somebody is going to feel it and need it and then understand it. And then be drawn
Hmm.
closer to God because of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think,
But
yeah, definitely influences.
yeah, and then I'm sorry, and then we run into situations though, right, where we kind of have to. I don't want to say give up, but we've been in situations where it's like, all right, like we can't continue this relationship with somebody, right? I kind of question how does that look, right? Because there is going to be stuff that, all right, well, this just isn't working. This doesn't work for me. It's not healthy for me. You know, how do we kind of deal with that, or how are we supposed to approach that? What do you think?
I feel like in that sense, like we got to give it to God, right?
Yeah.
It's it's hard because you have to take care of you first. But in the same sense, like that's a good question, D. That's a good question, D, because that's deep. That's a good question.
That was
Yeah,
a
because
good
like,
question, D, for real. And I'm like, we need to add a part 2 to this, but go ahead, continue.
'cause I mean, I just try to approach any situation, any relationship, friendship, whatever, just with 100% honesty, and my heart, like so that I guess when a season does come to an end with something or somebody, like you knew where I was coming from, right? Like, so I showed grace the whole time, and it's just like if it didn't work, it didn't work.
And let's go ahead and put the question up so we can remind all of you guys. Does the concept of grace influence our understanding of justice and fairness? What say ye?
Think about this question. I think about, when it comes to grace, when it comes to justice, I think about Job. I think about when it's happening to us, and we're going through things. Do we feel that is justified, or where is God in the midst of that? And I think um, being sensitive to His grace of bringing us through so many different things. God is a just God, and so there is a reaping of what we sow, but at the same time, I think there is I know there is a level of grace that covers of things that that protects us from things, that carries us through some things. So I appreciate that aspect, but the flip side of that is it was introduced. What about to others? How do we treat others? When we prefer to judge them, and that's when I look at characters like Joseph, who had every reason in the world and power to punish his brothers for what they've done to him, but yet he showed grace, And so many times we can be offended, and folks can do things to us, and we are justified in how we may want to hold them accountable or may want to respond, but yet I think it was those moments we got to remember the grace that's shown to us,
and that's what we are called to, I guess, not I guess, but I know reflect in our behavior towards others. So that's how I would address that personally.
Oh, I appreciate that. I agree with you on that, my brother. I struggle with. I think I'm not the only one. I struggle with being the recipient of grace and exercising grace, because I have to sit back and really think about it. Getting what you don't deserve and letting grace, the love of the grace of God that's been poured out on our hearts, His love, and then that same measure poured onto others. Help me, Holy Ghost. And then when you start thinking about all the infractions, man, it makes it tough, but it gives me a sense of appreciation for the grace received and the position we have as believers. And I think we should be, and I think it should influence, and it's sad to say it. I think sometimes we don't remember that we are the recipients of grace, so we must behave as recipients and not as originators of.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm hearing, what was discussed, is that whole tension, and it's the tension of the gospel. I mean, the reality is that we want justice. We always want justice, but we want justice for someone else. We don't necessarily want justice for ourselves. We want that grace showered upon us, and I think what you all described and what I heard was just this tension of, I want wrongdoers punished. I want them punished. I want them punished swiftly, harshly. But the mirror, I think, is a mirror of the gospel in our lives that calls for grace. There's always that grace there, and it the gospel and what Jesus has done for us shines a light on our situation, so that we can understand that we are, we're recipients of grace. We should be recipients of justice alone. And so you talk about that concept of grace influencing justice and fairness. I don't know that any of us wants what's fair in God's sight. And
I know that's right.
I know that's right.
I don't want the fair.
Yeah, one of the things that D said that he introduced towards the end of that was that idea of when to cut someone off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Or like, when do you done showed some grace, and when do you stop? And he introduced that at the end, and I think that the reality is when showing grace hurt you to a point, right? I think that's when you got to cut it off. You showing grace to not hurt someone else, but when showing grace continually hurt you, then you need to know when to cut it off.
Healthy boundaries.
Absolutely.
Healthy boundaries.
But then that raises the question. Sorry, Pastor Sone.
No, go ahead.
I don't know why you telling
what
me
is
to go
the
ahead.
question?
Why you telling me to go ahead? That's a whole nother show.
Wherever
you going? No, don't.
When you look at what God did, oh Lord, it cost Jesus everything, and that grace. Oh mercy! I just think about that. Wow.
I'll get you a Sunday. I know a place. They're looking for a guy.
Okay. So guys, we'll be back. We will be back with my favorite segment on the spot.
This season. There are certain guests I like to bring on to talk about some serious topics that we don't get a chance to really deal with in the church. And this certain topic, I'm just so pleased that this young lady we have had the courage to come on and talk about it. It's become a ministry of hers. I want to introduce to some and present to others Mrs. Robin Walton. She has a master's in education. She's an author and a certified teacher who grew up in Philadelphia. She currently writes inspirational children picture books as well as Christian fiction. She has written and produced plays at her church, which is Great Commission, by the way, shout out, for adults and children.
She has birthed a creative arts healing ministry called Redeeming Us Through Healing, also known as Ruth, which serve women who have suffered serious scars in their past. So put your hands together and let's welcome Mrs. Robin Walton.
Wow.
Hello. How are
Hello,
you?
hello. I am just blessed. Very, very blessed.
Amen. Amen. She's
Awesome sauce. I knew you were gonna say that. Look, that's the echo of the season.
yes, yes, yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and really put you on the spot, Miss Robin. So give me 1 second and make sure we got you all right. So I'm actually gonna run your interview today. I have the privilege and the honor to ask some questions, and I know this is a sensitive topic. So can we just dive right in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, one of your main topics, which I was really impressed with, is talking about abortions. And you mentioned that you healed from an abortion. So, we want to kind of just dive right in. How old were you when this happened, if you don't mind me asking?
The abortion, I was going into my senior year in high school. So I think I was 17.
About 17. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And were you saved then at 17?
No, lost. No, didn't know the Lord.
Awesome, awesome.
Mm.
But you're saved now because you had GCC.
Hallelujah.
Huh?
Yes.
Come on, GCC.
Don't get me started.
I ain't gonna make you shout. I ain't gonna make you shout. Yeah. So what actually what went into the decision making process on kind of making that decision that okay, this is where we are and I'm gonna, go through with it.
Feeling alone.
Mhm.
Feeling scared, terrified, not just didn't understand what was really happening. I remember realizing that I was pregnant, but I was like, oh, it felt like I just had a problem. It wasn't anything about life, child, family. It was like, oh, I'm going to high school. I got to get rid of this problem. It was just that's exactly was
Right.
fear. I don't want anybody to know. I kept it secret. I don't want anybody to know. I never even told my own mother.
I was gonna ask that.
No, it was one of those, everybody around me in my neighborhood, everybody had kids, and it was nothing wrong with that, but I just didn't want that.
Been there, done that, had the story, can write the book. So the
Mhm.
fact that we're having this conversation soberly is actually it's really I'm sure it's not just blessing me, but it's also blessing those listening. So after you go through that, I said we like I was with you because I feel like I'm there. I was right there with you. But how did you feel emotionally? Because we never really unpack how we feel after things like this. Where were you at emotionally? I know how you got to that point, but
Right.
where did you land emotionally?
Denial,
Mm.
silence, no memory of it at all. Like I shut the memory down.
Wow.
Really, it was that deep. It was like, oh, I just got stitches and let me go play basketball again. It was just like shut it down. I had to, but I went through a lot of traumatic things afterwards. So that affected my emotional state. I was hemorrhaging. I was in the
Oh,
hospital.
wow.
Yeah, I was in the hospital. I just didn't understand what I just needed a problem fixed. I didn't even think about the consequences. I didn't think about nothing. It was like that was it. So I was hemorrhaging. It could have been a botched abortion. I could have lost
Mm.
my life. I didn't process all that at
Wow.
all. I didn't process it. I could have lost my life if it's really now I think of it as the grace of God because my mother
Mhm.
was there when I stepped into the door of my mom's house. Bam, blood clots everywhere, and she was like,
Wow.
What is this? And I was so scared I couldn't even say what I had went through. It was just scary.
Mom eventually found out why we were bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we didn't talk about it. It was
Okay.
no conversation.
Heard.
It was, this is what happened, and that's it. Like, nobody was asking me questions. It was just like, let's act like this never happened.
Wow.
So now insert abortion healing, because
Yeah.
we need healing after traumatic experiences like this. Trust me.
Yes.
And so how did you start that process?
Well, I mean, like, if I'm really honest, God started it.
Mm.
I was in my 20s and I had just begun to know the Lord. And I remember praying in my mom's basement for the first time. I was so excited that I knew the Lord, like I was getting to know him. And then it was like in that moment of being in my mom's basement, God just showed up. I mean, not physically, but he entered my I was aware of what I had done. Now you're talking probably 9 to 10 years later. Now I'm saved, and he's bringing this up. I felt like the woman at the well, who God told her everything she ever did. It was like that. It was like, wow. He was showing me my sin. And I said, I never knew there was a sin. I cried. Y'all, I cried. Like, I tell you, I cried. God has a way of making you face your stuff.
Absolutely.
He made me face that, and I love him for it now, but it was hard. So I'm saying, I'm at a women's event now. I'm saved, filled with the Spirit, and I'm watching this movie with the ladies at church. I'm like, oh no, something's happening inside of me. I felt the tears because they were talking about my life, and I'm like, this is not my life, but it's on the screen. And they were talking about all the different reasons why she had the abortion and all the different angles. I could relate to every character. And I said, oh no, I was trying to run out of the place where we were. I don't know if we were in the sanctuary. I'm like, oh, I cannot. And see, that's what it is. When you are numb, you don't want to feel that because you got to face it.
That also led us to writing. Right.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
and for you helping others. So let's talk about that journey now that we got free and all of those things. Tell us about the writing journey.
I started writing really in the last 5 to 10 years about my abortion experience. It was so hard to even release it. I had so many different names, and you know, I started writing. I was in seminary for a while, and I was doing my studies on abortion healing and forgiveness. But during that season, I started writing. That's when I really started writing about this journey, and I was healing. I felt him. You need to write, and I was healing, and God was reminding me and making me remember things as I wrote that I couldn't believe I completely forgot. It was like he was showing the timestamp. This is when you went through this, and so I could write it. I could write with accuracy. God is deep, and I know y'all know that, but
no, testify, girl. We're here for it. You on the spot. Go ahead and talk about them.
Oh no, God ain't no joke.
It's so therapeutic when you're writing. Absolutely.
For sure.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure. So how do you believe that God has allowed something so tragic, and we're talking about it, to really be used for his glory through? What are other ways other than your book that you believe he's being honored through this tragedy?
Those children that never made it, I call them the children of my heart. That's one thing I learned from being in my abortion healing groups and Bible studies and weekend retreats. They're the children of my heart. They're to me, they're in heaven. And I had to face that. And so for me, the what came out of all my doing all that, I did a lot of work. A lot of work. And I think what came out of that is realizing that not everybody needs this work that I've done. Not everybody needs it. I thought everybody needed it. So what I'm saying is I have an awareness now that everybody's journey is going to be different. And I think what came out of all that to me was the Ruth ministry. Honestly.
Yes, let's talk about it. Yes.
It did. God showed me that. He's like, you know, you went through all this. It was like he opened up a door for that. I didn't create that. He gave that to me. Lord, you can face it. Oh,
Yes,
you
you
can
did.
face it. I thought I was gonna die when I went through that
Yeah.
abortion healing. But God brought me, gave me my life back, and He allowed me to trade my pain for joy, and He gave me the oil of joy instead of mourning. I'm telling you, He did it. I'm
And
sorry, y'all.
I no, you
It's all
no,
good. It's all good.
it's
That's
all
why I met you.
yeah, I was gonna say it is okay. I mean, because you are, for those of us who are watching, and for me, because I'm in the studio with Miss Robin, this is a trigger. I did not want to talk about this. It is an absolute trigger. So what you say about us healing, about it being like a lifetime thing, you are 100% correct. My circumstance was way different than yours. I was in a major car accident and had a choice between my surgery or a child. And it was like, do I choose my life or do I start a family? It was a very rough decision to make
Yeah,
because I felt like I
wow.
was selfish for choosing me, but I was like, but my arm, like it was a bad situation. So
Mhm.
every female you come in contact with, and even when I was in college and had to help some of the other, younger students walk through their healing, like
Mm.
it's a real thing. And today
Mhm.
I could just be thinking about how beautiful it is outside. Now you're talking about abortion and I'm back in 1990. That's crazy,
Mm.
right?
Amen.
So
That's real.
so it is very real. And so
Mhm.
having champions like you and others and myself too, because I've never lied about that. I always wanted to be transparent about that, working with young women. Um, I think that this is necessary. And
Mhm.
it's a safe space, and I am just like, I'm blessed and honored to hear your story, and just like celebrate with you, like, because we got the victory. The devil ain't nothing but a
Amen.
liar. So I love that. Now, before I let you go, Dr. LA, did you have any other questions? Because now I'm about to have some fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me the
Yes.
opportunity. So, I turned over
He's
the
so
interview
sarcastic.
portion to Sone for the sensitivity of the subject. I felt a woman interviewing a woman would be better, more sensitive to that. But I brought you on because you have, and you still are, healing, and you had victory. And there's so many women walking around with a whole lot of guilt and a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of shame, and they do it in a very silent way.
Mhm.
And so they need to know about putting that shame onto the Lord, because that's what He came to die for. And He gives us that victory through Him, and you shared that, and that's what I wanted them to hear, to help other women get to a healing place.
Thank you.
I love that. I was waiting for the question, Miss Robin, but sometimes we pass the offering plate, you know what I mean, even on the spot. So so let me ask you some questions. So I heard that we're married. Yes, that's what
Yes.
that's what Dr. LA said. How long
Yes.
have you been married?
Wow. Since 91,
Yes.
34 years.
Come on, 34. Yeah, I'm a baby.
Oh,
I just had 25 years, so I'm excited about the
oh,
34. I'm
praise
excited.
God.
Yes. So how many children do you guys have?
Well, we have two. We have
You
two
have
boy young men.
You have 2 young men. Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you do the cooking, mom, or does dad do the cooking?
I do the cooking. I love cooking.
Okay.
It's yes.
Okay. You love cooking. What do you like to cook? What's your favorite thing to cook?
I'm cooking beef stew right now. I
Oh,
like when it, yeah.
oh,
I
she said,
like
I'm
to,
cooking some beef stew right now. You could come
Right
through,
yeah.
Pastor Sloan. Let me get on it. Now, I don't eat beef stew, so we're gonna have to figure a different protein. But yeah, I'll
but
be
I
over
do.
the house. Look. Dr. LA said,
How you do too?
okay. Now, does your family like the beef stew? Is that like their favorite dish for you to cook? What's their favorite
In the
thing?
like winter, like in the cold months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
cook a lot of course, I cook a lot of chicken. I cook a lot of fish. We grew
Okay.
up cooking a lot of fish.
Okay.
Cleaning, gutting, frying, that
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Okay. You can come to
Yes.
Texas anytime because I'm a
Ooh,
pescatarian. Yeah, I sneak
ooh.
chicken. Don't tell anybody. I do sneak chicken, but I primarily
Uh-oh.
eat seafood. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let me on that note, Miss Rob. I mean, we were actually doing good. We were enjoying one another. You know, we
Oh
had you on the
no.
spot, and then your favorite color is purple, but I'm not mad at the
Yeah.
purple. So this was great. So thank you, Miss Robin. No, seriously.
Oh, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
This was phenomenal. Yes.
Well, I just wanted to share that if you have had an abortion, I think you might know this, but God forgives. He is ready to forgive, cleanse, forgive, and make you whole. I just want you to know that. And if you are pregnant and you are trying to decide whether or not you should have an abortion, I think that there are some women's centers that can help you. In Philadelphia, there is the Magnolia Women's Center, and there is the Deeper Still retreats of Eastern Pennsylvania. They help with post-abortive healing if you think that you need that. So first of all, I would just say, ask God to forgive you. God will forgive you and God will cleanse your heart. Many times people silence themselves when it comes to an abortion, but find somebody a godly person that you can talk to. And maybe you might need to find yourself a women's center in your area. They can certainly walk alongside of you. That's what happened to me. So I want you to know that with God, you can find healing, you can find wholeness. It is possible.
Okay, and we are back with the fellas. We just got finished on the spot, and I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with like 9 more episodes of this with all these awesome people. We get to meet all of these cool people. So who's closing out today, Dr. LA?
How about you close out?
Oh no. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to.
Wow.
I didn't mean to keep them long.
Wow.
She pushed us to the side.
You know what? Honestly,
It's all
I
good.
did not do that intentionally, guys. I really didn't. But since I have to close out, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and also hitting the Cash App that you see scrolling on the bottom. If you have any ideas or want to be a guest on the show, please send us an email. Do not text us. Send us an email and we will gladly respond. But other than that, it has been another dynamic show, and I am so honored to be a little co-host on such an amazing show. So shout out to my co-host, and thank you, audience, for watching. Peace.